We've done our very best over the past years to represent not only our boy, but these ladies and our families, and their families. We've carried their photos, we've decorated their trees at the Healing Garden with flags and other Canadian paraphernalia. And if you've been to the garden, you can't miss Jordan's tree. I, of course, also represent our 58 today, and that's a tough one. I always find the video that's played at the end of this ceremony to be the hardest to watch, because it's then you see the sheer magnitude of our collective loss. Those beautiful people who died so needlessly and their families left behind. A survivor from Canada saw Jordan and Amber the night before in their Canadian gear, and she took a candid photo of them without them seeing, because she thought it was cool that they were all decked out. She was horrified to learn the next day that Jordan was one of the victims, and she sent me that here at the morning ceremonies. And maybe for a small one at the Healing Garden, not as big as yours, but just a small one. I am pretty sure the permanent memorial will have one, fingers crossed. In preparing for my speech today, I looked back at all that's happened in the past 5 years, and it's been a lot, and we need all day to tell you all the stories. So I thought I'd tell you a few stories of things that you might not have heard about, and then I'll tell you about Jordan. And I'm gonna focus on our experience with the people of Las Vegas over the past 5 years. Starting at the beginning, we caught the first flight out to Vegas from Vancouver on October 2nd, early in the morning, and we were on a mission, and we weren't leaving without our boy. We were taken to the police station initially, where we first met our coroner contact, Felicia Borla, and she just continued to be such a huge support to us in so many ways. We then all moved to the convention center, or the Family Reunification Center, where we'd spend the next 5 days, all day, every day. And it was at that convention center that we witnessed firsthand the incredible response from your community. And we could also see the sheer magnitude, once again, of the number of people impacted. When Jordan's body was finally released to go home, and this was no small undertaking, crossing a border with no death certificate in hand, it took a lot of important people from 2 countries working together to make this happen, and we were ready to head home. At the airport on the way, clear bag with his belongings in it, with his police file number, and I'm horrified at the thought of opening it up. Practical things. Then the TSA agents not only opened a private lane for us, and they didn't make us open anything. And then they cried and hugged us too, and such a show of incredible kindness. I don't generally get hugged by the TSA agents, but. Jordan's funeral was held aptly on Friday the 13th, and we held a big reception for him afterwards to celebrate his life, and many different organizations helped us with funeral costs. One local man paid for a good portion of our after party, as we called it, and I thought you might like to hear this story. The late Tony Shea from Zappos.com had reached out to us, and I often wonder still, who were those people that made things happen behind the scenes, that quietly put the right people in front of us over the years? And he offered to help us. So he paid for a portion of Jordan's service. And when we returned to Vegas later in October, we went to meet and thank Tony and his Zappos for Good Team in person. And they invited us to spend the day with them on their campus, and it was really an amazing experience. He was a true visionary for Las Vegas, and his death was a big loss for your community. We also heard about something incredibly special through the Canadian Consulate in 2018. Congressman Ruben Kihuen, the U.S. representative from Nevada's 4th Congressional District, gave a speech about Jordan on the floor of the House of Representatives. And as for the speeches, Representative Kihuen actually spoke about each of the victims over several months. So he was only able to speak once per day and for 1 minute. And we were sent the video. It's hard to believe our son from a small town in Canada is being remembered on such a grand stage, that people care and would do something like that. Like, it's just remarkable. Kindness that the families have received since the shooting. Alan and I were invited in to see the big banner in person, the one that hangs in the rafters. We go to the game tomorrow, so if you have tickets, hook us up. We've been NASCAR season ticket holders at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for many years, and Jordan used to come down enjoy coming down with us, and he loved Las Vegas. March of 2018 was the opening race of the season for NASCAR. And chatting with President Chris Powell about how they would honor the 58 on the first race of the season, they did just that. The grassy infield was adorned with the number 58, and Chris did a beautiful speech to honor the victims. I spoke as well as Mayor Good. Thank you.
I wanted everybody to see the back of her jacket here because she made me do this. So I think it's important for everybody to see that. So thank you. That was wonderful.
Singing every single note, she's tatted up with cut-off jeans. She's a countrified American dream. Life is right there in every alley line. The sad and the hate they can enter her mind. The hellfire rain on down, and it happened in her own hometown. You thought that you could break her. Feet on, she's a survivor, gonna keep on raising hell. As if she don't, then the devil wins. Not the city of sin, from the outside looking in. You thought that we'd stay. He's more of a back road. He's dusty work boots and a long cut skull. He's a car with cut off sleeves. He's chasing that American dream. Song. He was 14-hour days, just powering on. When you're getting down and running scared, he'll be standing up tall with his finger in the air. Neon lighter, he's a survivor, gonna keep on raising hell. He's going back in, first responding, helping and doing whatever it is he can. Look, fathers and sons and daughters, lovers. But now the road to recover, no, it won't be long. No, it won't be long. 'Cause we're freedom fighters, up all nighters, neon lighters. We survivors, gonna keep on raising hell. 'Cause if we don't, then the devil wins. We're going back in, first responding, helping and doing whatever it is we can. Looking like the city of sin, from the outside looking in. Yeah, you thought that we'd stay down, but you were wrong. No. 'Cause we're very strong. Was grace, that's our precious gift, that grace will be the hour I first knew. We've been here 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We know but now I'm fine. Was blind, but now
tree. Coast.
Oh, word. Lord.
Detail. Pull. Color guard. Forward. Out. I want everybody to leave with this. Joy and sadness can coexist, correct? Everybody say hello to your neighbor, shake their hand, look in their eyes, and say thank you. Thank you for your continued support and remembrance. And remember what Commissioner Gibson said today. We have celebrations throughout the day, and starting with the rotunda here to my right, to your left. And everybody have a wonderful weekend and day. Thank you.
Favorite place? When I come in.